From our last video, we understand that there's no doubt that porn causes harm. In this video, we're going to explain to you what exactly is happening from the beginning. That'll give you a clear picture of how the whole porn-induced ED problem arises. On the internet you'll find a lot of arguments as to whether porn causes actual harm or not. You'll find as many people saying porn is bad as the number of people that believe otherwise. One group argues that if you're judging porn and the sex workers involved in that, then that's the most backward thing ever. And that is a perfect case of societal regression instead of progress. Some even argue that it empowers women. The other side claims that porn is evil and give religious reasons for that. They say that it's immoral to the degree that if you indulge in it, then you're surely going to hell for that. That also antagonizes a lot of people. Can you see how much focus there is on the argument over finding the solution to the problem? So, no matter what you believe, you'll have to look at the facts behind this. This you have done, as that's what might have brought you to this series. We'll be covering the neuroscience behind why you want to keep going back to porn. And as you keep getting into more and more novel stuff, a time comes when your system has had enough and it's signaling you to stop. Porn-induced ED is a pretty clear signal. Try to remember the first time that you watched porn. Also, remember we asked you about the age where you watched porn? That for assessing where you are in the spectrum of the negative effects of porn. If you had started with just magazines and videotapes, then it can be relatively easier for you to recover from this habit, as you'll be able to relate to the times when there wasn't any high-speed internet porn around. But that doesn't mean that if you had started out watching porn of the high-speed internet kind. Because here's the deal, if you've been watching porn recently and then you faced the porn-induced ED problem, all of that porn is from the internet only, so you and your peers will be on the same page with this. Different people will have different stories on this subject. But the average of all of that would be something like this. You're young, and you're feeling something in your body that you can't quite describe. In a situation like this, you find something, maybe you found a magazine or a video cassette hidden somewhere in the house. In the case of the internet, it happens much quicker. You randomly stumble upon some websites that a friend of yours might have recommended. Or you just find it yourself, it's the same. And the first time you use it to stimulate yourself, you know that you've found something cool. It actually isn't, but that's what it felt like at that time. You keep going back to it again and again and again. It becomes a routine of sorts. As you get going through life, you kind of don't realize how much you're doing it, and nothing much different happens that might draw your attention. But as you get a bit older and want to be around women, that's usually when you might feel that there might be something problematic. You feel a little less confident in general as you need it more and more to go out there and socialize. You generally feel a bit sluggish and not very motivated to do stuff. This is the beginning of the signaling that your body does as you're watching porn and masturbating to it. Now, as you progress through your school years, you'll have more workload which you'll struggle to manage. Then in a lot of cases, you'll also find it difficult to meet new girls and you'll be anxious overall. Time keeps passing, and when you manage to get a female partner and indulge in sexual activities, you experience erectile dysfunction, to be more specific porn-induced erectile dysfunction. You panic and wonder what is happening and in a bad state of mind overall. But the truth is that the problem had been developing in the background. And the realization that you have got porn-induced erectile dysfunction just made you alert. In fact, this is something that you should be grateful for, as you are now going to do whatever it takes to fix the problem at hand. You now have a big why for which you're willing to take action. So, from right this moment, say to yourself the following: now I'm on a mission to fix this. Write that down on a piece of paper if you have to. Now, we should give you a briefing on the neuroscience behind the day-to-day challenges that you face. This has to do with the dopaminergic system that is there in your brain. That's the seed of the problem that you're facing, and that's where you'll have to dig in to fix the problem. Pay attention to the next few things that we're going to say. You have been attacked and are being attacked from two sides. First is the visual desensitization part. Men are hardwired to be responsive to visual cues. Experts believe that this kind of hardwiring comes from the full-time hunter-gatherer times of human evolution. Imagine our ancestors hunting for animals in the open grasslands. There would nothing for miles on end, so you'd need really sensitive vision to see any change far away in the horizon. Also, this served really well from protecting themselves from wild animals. So, over the millennia, this has become the way our visual systems operate. And when it comes to viewing the opposite sex, the visual cortex developed to look for signs of fertility in the female that ensured proper genetic propagation. This is what porn has exploited to get more and more views, providing novel eye candy for almost every new video. Now, the dopamine system in your head responds to the visual signals that it gets. You keep wanting more and more, and you keep getting more and more from porn. Now your partner isn't nowhere near enough for you. And you're not getting erections while trying to engage in sexual activities. Dopamine is what motivates you to do something. Not responsible for the pleasure that you feel when you do the thing. So, when there's low levels of dopamine being secreted, so no stimulation. That works together with the next problem, which is the physical numbness of the genitals. Masturbation, especially when you do it compulsively, is not a natural thing. That's where the physical desensitization comes from. As you keep using porn to sexually stimulate yourself and get off to it. That trains your body to respond to the sexual stimulus that you get from the glowing screen. And then use your own hand. Then when you are in a situation where you'll have to have an erection, you find that your body fails you. You're a young man, so it's highly unlikely that your bad health is causing this. It's just years of a certain kind of practice that's not in any way conducive for having a healthy sexual life. You can fix the problem and you're in the right place for that. Be patient and methodical, and you can reverse the problem. We're here to help you through the intricacies of the step. Thank you for watching the video.